Intellectually petty radio on your stereo. Don't compare us to anything, this a different scenario. We break records while we pushing the culture forward. Great music and big vibes right in that order. Intellectually petty radio on the stereo. Don't compare us to anything, this a different scenario. We break records while we pushing the culture forward. Great music and big vibes right in that order.
And you are now tuned into another episode of Intellectually Petty Radio, brought to you in conjunction with Beautiful Machine Magazine and the mighty Nerd DJ Radio Network. Y'all already know, man, this is Jobs, and you are now tapped into the most consistent show in the history of mankind and vocal cords. Every week, every hour, every minute, every month, we only rock with legends, and today is absolutely no exception. We have one of the best people to grace the galaxy, Miss Ciji Symone. Thank you for joining the conversation. Man, I be fucking people's names up. I'm so sorry.
Hi guys, how you doing?
All right. How you doing? How's your family?
Family is good. We're doing real good. Day's been, we almost out of this Michigan slump, so I'm excited about that. So,
Yo, the weather has been. I don't know how it is in Michigan, but I'm in Cleveland, and the weather has been. It was 60 something degrees yesterday, and it fucking snowed today.
exactly. That's it's bipolar. It is, it's that, but we almost through it. We through the thick of it. So,
I hope you're right. So, stage manager.
yeah,
What exactly does a stage manager do?
everything. Everything. So it just depends on what capacity or like what type of artists or promoters or whatever that you do with, but primarily we manage the stage. We're the people who, down to, getting the artists to stage on time, making sure that the show, is running on time, to any technical issues that are going on, to any think on the spot, fly on the spot type of thing. We're kind of the ones and in charge of that. And then there's just some behind the scenes, back scenes things that a stage manager does too. So,
How did you even find out about that gig?
well, I've been in events for a minute. I'm sorry. But I've been in events for a minute. And I've been like doing production and things like that for a minute. I started out in the wedding industry actually.
Really?
back in the day. And then I always knew that I wanted to like be somewhere in the limelight of like entertainment world, because I mean, that's where the money is, and then I just kind of did my research and was like, oh, okay, well, so I just kind of like fell into it and like that, just doing my research and talking to people and yeah.
So is that different? Like, how does that differ from a concert producer?
Event producer.
Mm-hmm.
So event producer would
be concert event, same thing.
Yeah, no, event producer would be the one who's pretty much curating the entire show. They're in charge of pretty much a lot of elements of the show, down to hiring somebody like a stage manager to, help them run the stage. But they're in charge of a lot of more logistical things, especially on the curation and creativity side, than the stage manager is.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what was your most difficult night stage managing?
Like working with artists, or just like venue, or like
just like the tonight is the show, and your big artist, whoever it is coming in, and for it just wasn't your night.
We're not allowed to cuss on here, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I cuss like a sailor.
Basically, yeah, like just there's so many elements. I think the most frustrating part for me is when the artists won't get their ass to stage. That's when I'm kind of just like, come the hell on, because especially in Detroit, we have a very, very, very strict curfew. Our curfew is normally like 10:45, but sometimes like if you cool with the fire marshal or you cool with elements that be, or just like the venue in general, they might let you go to like 11 o'clock or whatever. But when you got artists that are like running late, artists that, they won't go on because, they want their liquor or whatever the case may be, whatever, it can be very frustrating, and it makes your show run a lot more just like hectic than what it really should, kind of thing. So that's I would say that's like my most frustrating thing about being a stage manager.
So are you able to even say anything to the artist like, man, what the fuck is you doing? Or are you pretty much that's their manager's job to do?
No, a lot of the artists, like, I'm cool with a lot of people. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say no names on here, but like there's a lot of people that I'm actually like cool with, like I talk to. You know what I mean? And so like, no, yeah, you be in the dressing room with them and you be like, come on, get your ass stage. You know what I mean? You have a rapport with them because like even before the show starts, like before what you guys see is like I've been advancing that show sometimes for months. You know what I mean? I've been talking to them and building a rapport with their team for months before y'all even, they even come to stage with y'all. You know what I'm saying? So you be in the room with them, whatever. A lot of them are really cool. I've never really had a lot of bad experiences with like people in general, whether it be the team or the artist. I've never really had that. So, yeah.
Best concert you ever went to?
That's a hard question because to me, best concert isn't necessarily like. So you mean like one I've done or one I've just went to?
One you just went to, or if it just happened to be one that you've done, but the artist was so phenomenal.
Okay, let's just go with the best concert that I ever been to, because I don't know, because like with my shows it's different. Everyone is like sentimental to me because they could have went good for a certain reason, and that's why it was the best concert I ever had, or I enjoyed the artist, or just the weather was great. You know what I mean? I'm simple. It could be stuff like that. So let's just do one with the best one I've ever been to was Marsha Ambrosia, Alicia Keys back at Hart Plaza. They did this like impromptu like little thing or whatever. It was the bomb. It was just a good all night like in Detroit on the Riverwalk. So I think that had a lot to do with it too. But
yo, Detroit in the summertime at night,
baby,
ain't no city better than
baby.
that. Yo, and I be trying to tell the young folk, y'all think it's lit now. When they used to have Belle Isle, let us have Belle Isle till 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning every Friday and Saturday. Crazy work. When Hart Plaza was just free. It wasn't no Riverwalk. They don't even understand how. Oh my.
Wow.
Yo, that shit was. And I used to, I tell a story all the time. But my mother grew up in Detroit too.
Okay. You from
And
the west side?
West Side.
Okay. Okay.
My mother and my grandparents are from the East Side when they came up. But yo, the story she had a Hart Plaza, crazy. Nick has been getting lit in Hart Plaza
for years.
Decades.
I don't want to tell people how old I am, but I was in Belle Isle before I should have been in Belle Isle. Let's just say. I was in Belle Isle with her. I really probably should have been hanging out at Belle Isle, but I tell my daughter now. It's like my daughter is 18, and she'll be like, "Mom, I'm going to bed." I'm like, "No, the hell you not."
But I don't. It ain't the same as it was though.
It's really not. It's I'm sorry, I've been having a problem with my eyes, my contacts and stuff. But no, it's really not. And I mean, just Detroit in general is different from when I was a kid coming up to now. You know what I'm saying? So that definitely has a lot to do with it. Is like why she told me. Well, I think it was like Halloween this year, and we was me, I'm boring. I'm passing out candy to the trick or treaters, stuff like that. I said, "Oh, what you doing for Halloween, babe?" And she, I'm thinking she gonna come over. We're gonna watch little scary movies, and I'm forgetting she 18. She's not my little girl anymore, type of thing. But I said, "Well, what you doing?" She said, "Oh, I was gonna come over here real quick or whatever." She came over. she had on this like cheetah print, whatever. And I'm thinking in my head, like, okay, you know, she 18, so I can't really say too much. But at the same time, okay. I'm like, where you going? Detroit? No, the hell you not dressed like girl, is you crazy? So yeah, it definitely is. And again, I'm sorry, my contacts, but it definitely is a different time than I'm not
Yeah.
how old I am, but when I was
Hey, I took shit. Let me
yeah.
shut up. Yo, so okay, so it was the first your first time being a stage manager.
Ooh, um, I mean, because so you mean for like concerts or just in general? Because again, I used to be in the wedding realm of it, and there's a lot
Oh,
that goes into that. You know what
oh,
I
did
mean?
you
So,
ever see? I'm sorry to cut you off,
no,
but
no, no.
have you ever seen the wedding go wrong?
Yes.
Oh, how bad? I need some of these stories. I love
You know,
other
every
people's misery.
wedding. Um, I've done a wedding before that has not went on. Like everybody's sitting there and it has not went on. I've done a wedding before where shit, I've walked off the job. You know what I mean? 'Cause I'm just like, this is too much for me. You know what I mean? I've done a wedding before where I mean people there one in particular story was just I was helping actually somebody, a homegirl of mine had called me and asked me to do this wedding for with her
Uh,
coordinator in a wedding. And I mean, it was one of them things that like everything that could go wrong with the wedding just did go wrong. But I mean, you know, you get what it just was like a crazy day in general. And like, you know, I always say proper planning prevents poor production. You know what I mean? And just the planning wasn't there. You know, families fighting. That's one of the things that like as a wedding coordinator, you do try to minimize
yo, you
because
seen families like fist fight?
oh yeah, like the bride fighting, like
Yo, that's great. Yo, but we gotta back up though. You said somebody got left at the altar.
no, not left at the altar, but like they just the wedding just didn't go on. Like not left at the altar, like they just didn't, but just like the venue. Really, it was just they didn't pay their bill, and the venue was
Oh,
like,
oh no, I thought it was some
no.
bad shit going on between them. I'm like, oh, who left who?
I be telling people, you know, I tell them, you know, first of all, y'all pay all this money for these extravagant weddings and stuff like that, and it's just like, for why? You know what I'm saying? Like, if this is to me, I've never been married, but you know what I mean. It's to me, I'm never gonna pay that much money for it, and I plan y'all weddings. Like, my goal is to get y'all to spend money. You know what I'm saying? So I can get more money out of the deal, but I would never do that. To me, it's just a waste of money because it's like, you know, for these 12 to 18 hours, you know, you spent all this money for just this one night and the next day you still got to wake up and pay DTE. What you mean?
Man, yeah, I seen it. People spend $10,000, $15,000 on a wedding and ain't together after 8 years.
Crazy. Crazy.
Yo, that is the wildest
I've
shit.
seen that too. I've seen people spend all this money on weddings. The very next year, they're not even together anymore. They're with somebody and it's like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, can I get my money back for can I get the money I put in that card back for you then? I just don't even.
Man, I wish it was like that, cause oh boy. Yo, so what do you envision for yourself over the next 5 to 10 years?
I definitely want to have my own production company in the sense of like having like my own gear and things like that too, you know, on staging, lighting, trusses, things like that. But then I also too envision like it's always been a dream of mine. My ultimate goal is I want to direct the MTV Video Music Awards.
Mm.
It's just always been a dream of mine since I was like a little kid, you know, and I really sorry, excuse me. Ooh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I've always just wanted to. I think that's like the goal is I want to get into TV and film. That's
Hmm.
just one thing in the entertainment world I have not broken my foot into yet.
Hmm.
I've got a couple opportunities coming up that I'm hoping, you know, definitely go through. And it just really hoping to get my foot in TV and film because I definitely want to direct or produce the MTV Video Music Awards. I definitely see myself throwing my own concerts, myself, producing them myself, with the capital, the money myself, to do
So
that.
let me ask you this:
Mhm.
I give you an unlimited budget. You can do your own concert, but it has to be in Detroit. But you get three artists, dead or alive. What venue do you use? And who's your artist?
Okay. Um, and with me, it's not. I want everybody to know I'm picking these strictly on a. I know I'm gonna make money back, and too because I'm fans of them because I know that they gonna make money or whatever. But and I'll tell you a backstory because I actually had this conversation with a really good friend of mine. Shout out to Jay Levine at iHeartRadio. I actually just had a conversation with him about this.
Mm,
But I would say number one, this lady here that I'm wearing.
understood.
Miss Whitney. That's my dead. I'm gonna pick one kind of from each category, but that's my no longer here deceased list. Whitney, people would be excited if Whitney came back and did did a show. If Whitney was alive to this day, I do think that people would still be going to go see Whitney.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, not at this point.
See, I think she would because like I did a show with Miss Gladys Knight. Oh, Miss Gladys Knight. Last summer. Miss Gladys tore the house down.
Yeah, but Gladys Knight didn't have the vices that Whitney had.
But well, okay, I will say that like giving out the vices, like let's just say Whitney was Whitney.
Oh, you talking about in her prime?
Let's
And
just
I'm with you. Yeah.
yeah,
In her prime, she had one of the best voices in the history of vocal cords.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think people would. And then strictly again, just because it's really just a strategic move. I probably would put up I probably would see Champagne Poppy. I would probably put up Drake just because he's an easy sellout. Like he's the easy, like people are gonna go see Drake. It don't matter if he's popping, if he's not popping. People are just gonna go see Drake. So
Yes.
I think I would probably do Drake or Lil Wayne, like one of them two, kind of just like, do maybe like a Young Money tour. You know what I mean? People would fuck with it, maybe. You know what I mean? I would do it just because I would do it.
I definitely could see. Yeah, Drake is gonna.
Drake is
Drake.
that's an
Yeah.
easy money maker. You know what I'm saying? If you
Yeah.
make money, that's an easy money maker. But do you have the money to book Drake?
Well, you know what? Yeah, I'm certain it's a lot cheaper than it was a couple years ago.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Although the man's been on top for a decade
More than a decade,
plus.
15 years. Yeah, like
Yeah.
15.
That's a crazy run.
Nuts. The consistency of it is, and not always, I wouldn't say the consistency, and we can get into the Drake and Kendrick conversation, but yeah, that would be my number two. And then last, and there's a story behind this one, why I'm picking this one, but believe it or not, Britney Spears. If Britney would go
To Detroit?
listen, so here's the thing about it is I was talking with a somebody in like the concert promotions or whatever, and we were talking and we was like just talking about who would be the hottest ticket right now. Like if somebody were to go on tour, who would be the hottest ticket right now? And three big top execs, without a shadow of a doubt, was like Britney Spears. And I was like, and I said the same thing. I said Britney Spears too. And then I was like, why? Britney Spears would be the hottest selling ticket right now. Detroit, whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm not saying yes because it's a primarily Black community, but I'm saying like money wise, just like they came out and showed out to see Taylor Swift and all them other people. It's not, people always be like, oh, because it's Detroit or whatever. When you get into especially concert promotions, you got to get that, like, I only do R&B. I'm about money. I don't care if it's R&B. I don't care if it's rock. I don't care if it's rap. If it's going to sell tickets, if I have the money, I'm booking them.
But Britney Spears?
The hottest ticket out right now. Everybody and their mama is waiting to see Britney come back. I'm telling you, this is not a joke. I had this conversation with three top, like, from a reputable company that I don't want to say on air or whatever, but I'm telling you, they was like, if we could afford Britney Spears right now, we would book Britney Spears. Honestly.
I'm kidding. Afford Britney. Like, what the fuck is Britney Spears charging?
Britney Spears money because it's Britney Spears and everybody trying to book Britney Spears.
I am
coming out of retirement because it's Britney Spears, and she like, I don't care, and so she charging Britney Spears money.
Okay, I'm just an old fat nigga in the basement, but I just can't see that. I'm sorry, Brittany.
I'm telling you, people they be going crazy over Britney Spears. I'm telling you, if you've never, I be telling people like, especially in the concert industry, because I've done more than just like R&B and rap and stuff like that. I just primarily, do the R&B and rap and stuff like that. But I'm telling you, Britney Spears would go anywhere in the world. It didn't matter where she was. She would go nuts. She would go nuts right now.
That is that's just fucking my head up a little bit right there. Okay, so you said you've done concerts that weren't R&B. What rock concerts have you done?
Yeah, so like I don't know if you like at the Aretha, we be having a lot of, not a lot, but we have non-rock or non-R&B or jazz or what
Alternative music.
Definitely. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it doesn't really matter. I've done bands, I've done some people you wouldn't even know. I mean, Keith Smith. I don't even know if you know who that is, but he's the, and I do a lot for. I don't care. I'm production. I tell people all the time. People are like, oh, you don't want to do that show. Da, da, da. I do production. That's what I do. I do production. So if the money is there and the money is right, guess what? I'm doing it. I always tell people outside of a KKK rally, I'm doing it. I did some stuff for Trump this summer.
Did you? What you do for Trump?
So we just did like it's funny because Trick was on your show. Trick, I did a show with Trick. That was for Trump.
Oh, so who called you for Donald Trump?
Nobody called me for Donald Trump. It was I got hired through a company.
Okay.
That was like, we need a stage manager, but it just happened to be that it was funded by Donald Trump.
And you don't feel the least bad, like
because I got to pay my DTE bill. No, I feel bad because I got to pay my Verizon wireless bill. No. No.
I'm no fan of the guy at
Listen, I tell people all the time, when you get into the entertainment business, this is my opinion. When I get into the entertainment business, I stay out of all that. Because at the end of the day, I don't know that unless like me and this person is like this, you know what I'm saying? I don't get involved because first of all, at the end of the day, I'm here for the money. I'm not here because like, you know what I'm saying? Anybody who tells you otherwise that is like in production or does like concert promotion or anything like that is there because they genuinely care about the artist. Doesn't matter whether this artist is on coke, doesn't matter whether this artist's son just died, doesn't matter whether they are there for the money. I don't care. I don't care. That has nothing to do with me. I don't care.
But don't you gotta go? Okay, so let me ask you this: who's the first person you told you were doing the Trump shit, and what was their response?
Maybe my mama. Maybe my mama.
Was she cool with it? She was like, "Okay, good, way to go."
If you ain't asking me for money, I'm telling you, my mama's a different breed. My mama is a different breed. She probably was like, as long as you ain't asking me for money, girl, go ahead. I don't think anybody, because again, it wasn't like specifically for, so you remember, so basically it was for the community first. You remember Harry O had got pardoned by Trump.
Yeah.
And yes. So then we had like a benefit concert, not a benefit, I'm sorry, but just a free concert that was pretty much a benefit concert for the Community First program. So anyway, long story short, with that was I was just the stage manager for 2 events with it and they were funded by the Trump campaign.
So wait a minute, Trump had an event for Harry O?
2, 3.
And just completely off subject, I don't understand why the fuck we be celebrating Harry O or Big Meats to be. Now
come on now. Come
These
on
is
now.
two of the worst niggas to ever come across
Listen,
black people in this country.
listen. The crazy part about it is, I actually just got approached about doing the meat show because it didn't go on
Right.
in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And the crazy part about it is that me and a friends, that we've been approached to produce it in Detroit.
So is it actually going to go on?
I cannot speak on that.
Okay.
It's not my place to speak on that at this time. Is what all I can say. It's one of them things, like, just knowing the inner workings of what happened. Again, I wasn't there. I don't know what happened in Florida. I all I know is he said, she said rhetoric, direct from sources, but it's just he said, she said stuff. All I can say is that it wasn't put on properly, and because of that, that's probably a lot of the reason why it didn't go on, is because you know what I'm saying? From what my understanding is, elements that may be, if the show had been put on properly, and this is no diss to any of the promoters or anybody who did it, it's just sometimes you don't think that things in any event can go wrong, and they do. And if you just, I'm the type of person, like, I cross my T's, dot my I's, and make sure that I'm, like, putting the arrow through the hearts, just because I want to make sure that anything that can go wrong, if it does, I have a plan B, A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Got you.
Feel what I'm saying? So from my understanding, it's so funny that you say that or whatever, because yes, I can say that I have been approached by entities that be powerful entities to produce the Big Meech concert.
Yeah, I just don't understand the why is this nigga a star?
Who, Meech?
Yeah, I don't get it. You killed black people.
Me personally, I can't answer that as to why
Oh,
people
it was a
glorify the
rhetorical
people that
question.
they do.
I'm
No,
not
no,
trying to
no.
drag you. Yeah, I ain't trying to drag you into it. I'm just,
Oh.
my bad.
No. I get you. I don't know. I can't answer why people glorify the people that they do. You know what I mean? Me, the only person I glorify is the Lord. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know anything, about, that. But I do think that, I think maybe some people seeing him as a beacon of hope is corroded as that might sound, possibly.
But since you brought up the man in the sky, it's a question I ask everybody. You're sitting on a park bench, and God sits down next to you, and he or she says you can ask them one question. What would it be?
I never even thought about Hmm. I, I never even thought about that. That's a good question. I think I don't know. I don't, honestly, I don't know. I think I would just be, I think that's like, people ask me all the time, like, oh, have you ever been like starstruck by any, celebrity or something like that? I think that would be one person that I would be starstruck by, that I
I don't know. I got the feeling that if God's sitting next to you, you'll be calm because it's God, and His
yeah,
presence alone will calm you.
I think,
Let me ask you this then: what if it was Satan? Would you ask him a question?
no, I don't. I think, again, I think I would just be it would be so much, because how do you narrow it down to one question? You feel what I'm saying?
I got a question. I got questions. I got multiple
Questions.
questions for
Plural,
Satan.
got questions. I would have too many questions that I feel like, even asking that one question, I need a follow-up question, because I would have so much stuff to ask the Lord, and so much stuff to ask Lucifer, that I would just be like, I really want to know. Because I want to know the good and the bad of, why God does the good and he does the bad that he does. Satan, why do you do the bad that you do? You know what I mean? I would really, I feel like I couldn't just narrow it down to one question. I think that would be my thing if I could narrow it down to one question.
Yeah, I didn't know Satan. Why you do it, bro? He was the guy up there, you know. He was number two. Life was good. You're the angel's angel. They all look up to you. And you fuck it all up. Just to go live in some fucking fire? I got. Did you not see this coming? Like, what you think, bro?
I can't. I think about the joke, but I love jokes. I love corny dad jokes. I have my Alexa tell me a joke every day. I love that. It cracks me up. But there's a joke about heaven and earth from I just heard it the other day. And it was the funniest thing I had ever heard in my life. But hey, let me sit and don't think about it. And before the conversation is over, hopefully I remember it and I can tell that joke. But it was funny.
What you think about the no-fly zone?
Here in Detroit.
Yeah.
It's valid, 100% valid. And I'm going to tell you, it's people, it's like a whole little thing. Trust me. It's a thing. It's valid. Very valid.
I think without the no-fly zone, this wave that Detroit has been experiencing hip hop wise over the last couple of years, popularity wise across the states and the world, I think it can be directly attributed to the no-fly zone.
100%. Yeah, 100%. I mean, you know, that's why I got so much respect for people like Trick, because he don't play. You know, he don't play about that no-fly zone. He don't play about the disrespect. And I feel like a lot of the no-fly zone is like, you know, I remember I had worked the NFL draft. That was just last, you know, April. And I just remember it was like at first, you know, people was, you know, trying to come in. And of course they was trying to hire local, like local union, local things like that. But they was also trying to bring like their own like companies in too. And I remember that was like a whole thing down there. Like, y'all not about to bring these other production companies in here and this other stuff and this other equipment and gear, you know, in here. And y'all not going to hire locally, you know, within the Detroit, Metro Detroit, you know, area. And that type of stuff will get you on the no-fly zone, you know, stuff like that. Disrespect towards Detroit, it'll get you on the no-fly zone. Just not, you know what I mean? Natalie Nunn almost got on the no-fly zone, you know?
Who's Natalie Nunn?
The girl from the Baddies.
Oh, that's why I don't know her.
Moving forward, yeah, she's one of those that like, okay, moving forward, she, you know, as a businesswoman, she did her big one. I'm not gonna sit here and like hold her, you know, got against that. I praise any business-minded person or whatever. I give them that cookies where cookies is due, but her come up wasn't something that I'm impressed by. And not to say like your come up is everything, but just it just wasn't. I wasn't impressed by it.
What does impress you? Especially matter of fact, business wise, who did you look to say this is who I want to be, especially in the stage management area or events or the weddings? Was there somebody that was doing it before you that kind of gave you the game?
I used to be one of them. I'm from Ann Arbor, so I used to be.
Oh, so you know Mikey?
Yeah, that's who I did the community first event with. That's who. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Mikey is my guy.
Mikey is my guy.
Mikey fucking knows everybody.
Mikey knows everybody.
Yes.
Mikey is the best. Yeah. Mikey is the best. He's the best to ever do it. But yeah, Mikey is what like plugged and connected, and he really is like he just want everybody to win, you know, type thing. So, you know, shout out to Mikey. You know, I used to be one of them type of females who I used to watch like the Kardashians. You know that show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they used to have these events on there every season or episode or whatever it would be or whatever. And it would be like they wedding planner or event planner who's done like 85 of Kim's weddings and then, you know, all that stuff. But she would come in, her name, I'm just being honest. Her name is Mindy Weiss. And she was this like, you know, elderly woman who was very brilliant in the head. And I guess to me, I always had said like the fact that like I don't down the Kardashians because them hoes is smart. I'm gonna just tell you like that. Them hoes smart. Them hoes is smart.
Smart and opportunist is different.
But you can't say to me, I that's unfair to say to people, regardless of whether it was an opportunity. I had an opportunity. I seized it. It's about when you play your chess pieces the right way. And if just like in chess, when an opportunity opens up, if you have the opportunity to take out that queen, you don't wait, you do it. Whether it's a easy, you know what I'm saying, checkmate or whatever, you do it. If that opportunity opens up, you take it. And if you don't, to me, that's a bad move. That's a bad chess move. You feel what I'm saying? If it was an opportunity, I mean, however they seize the opportunity, it's not on me. Like I said, I'm a very non-judgmental person because it's not on me to judge you how you got where you got.
And I'm quite the opposite. I would judge the fuck out of you.
See, I'm not, to me, because again, like, just like we got done talking about the Lord, it's not on me to judge that. It's not on me. I don't care how you got there. If that's how you got there and that's how you felt you needed your journey to go to in order to get where you needed to go, hey, more power to you. It's not what I would have done, but.
Yeah, and I feel you, you know, and no, I am definitely not the Lord, but I'm going to do God's work and judge your ass. Stop doing dumb shit.
I get it. I'm not different. Me, I'm just like, I'm a Sagittarius too. So I'm like so laid back. And I'm like, I have a very much so like I don't give a fuck type attitude towards a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. A lot of Sagittariuses are like that, you know.
So when's the last time you did get fanned out?
At Super Bowl.
So what did you do at the Super Bowl?
So I was in charge of all the back of the house operations, basically, and it just a lot. There's so many components. That was my first Super Bowl I had ever done. So all the back of the house operations I was in charge of. And when I say back of the house, it means like everything that could be a plethora. When we say back of the house, what y'all don't see, like what y'all see on stage is called like the front of the house.
Okay.
Even beyond that, there's an actual front of the house. But anything that is like not from backstage is called the front of the house. Anything back behind the stage, that's called back of the house. Okay. But back of the house operations, as far as like staffing, making sure people are where they say they're going to be, and things like that. For a lot of the exclusive VIP events that we had up into including halftime. So I did a lot. I worked like I don't even know how many hours, but I will say this. NOLA owes me nothing. I had the best time in NOLA.
So did you meet Kendrick?
I had met him before and stuff like that, so it wasn't really like a big, you know what I'm saying? Because like what people don't understand is like he hadn't gone on tour in a minute. I mean, it was been a minute since Kendrick had went on tour. But the last time he had went on tour, when Drake had brought him on tour for them a couple of times, I had met him then. So it wasn't really like a, oh my God, Kendrick Lamar. You know what I'm saying? Like.
It's just like, hey, what's up, Ken?
That's how I am about a lot of people. Like, I don't really fan. The only reason I fan out is because I didn't fan out at Kendrick. It was the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Like being at the actual Super Bowl. That's why I was fanning out because you know what I mean? Like in that moment, I'm going to just keep it real. I never thought if you would have asked me 3, 4, 5 years ago, would I be in the room with the Isley brothers and, helping to do this show and with, Gladys Knight and Lil Wayne and Kendrick Lamar and SZA. And these are all people that I'm naming that I've worked with, by the way. I'm just going off the map. You know what I'm saying? T.I. and Trick and, you know what I'm saying? 2 Chainz if you would have asked me 3, 4, 5 years ago, would I have ever imagined myself being in this position or whatever? I wouldn't. And so in that moment at the Super Bowl, I realized, and it's going to sound bad, but it's just real. I realized it's two type of people in the world. For me, for just being where, because last year I was on my couch watching the Super Bowl. This year I'm at the Super Bowl. And that hit home for me. It's like, do I want to be that person who's watching the Super Bowl every year, or do I want to be that person who's making shit happen at the Super Bowl every year?
That's crazy. In just a year? If nobody has told you today, I am proud of you.
Thank you.
That is fucking dope.
It literally, it was crazy because my mom, I shout out to my mother, my mom. I couldn't have done it without my mom. Me and my mom, we have a special relationship. I get on her nerves, she get on my nerves, but I love her. I love that woman to death. I couldn't imagine my life without that woman. But my mom was the real MVP of the start. My mom helped me get through. My mom, shout out to my mom. If it wasn't for my mommy, I couldn't have done it. She held me down. She held her daughter down like a mommy's supposed to. Mm-hmm.
So shout out to your mama.
Shout out to my mommy. I love my mommy.
Yo, if people want to get in touch with you, how they go about doing that?
So the best way to get in touch with me is on IG. I'm real simple to get hold on IG. Ciji_Symone. And then my Facebook, which is the same thing. I'm pretty much the same on all socials. And then my phone number, you can always reach me. You also too, CijiSymone@gmail.com. That's where, to book me. That's the goal, is touring bigger events. I'm hoping to put a Grammy under my belt. Not an actual Grammy, but an actual do the Grammys.
Yeah.
Under my belt next year. That's the goal. And that's that just exciting things. I have just a bunch of stuff coming up. Lord have mercy. Lots.
Yo, that's so fucking dope. What's 2 Chainz like?
Tall. Super tall. He's like weirdly tall. I didn't think he was gonna be that tall, but yeah. 2 Chainz, that's my boy. He's really cool. He's cool as heck. Him, T.I. Camp, they super cool. It's a lot of people who I'm like, I genuinely like working with that camp. 112's camp, they really cool. Who else? I work with so many people. It's crazy because me and a friend, shout out to my friends. Can I just do a quick little shout out?
Absolutely.
Shout out to my friend who he's famous himself, but Dave, you know who you are. Shout out. Dave does a lot with Zeus Network.
Mm-hmm.
Chanel, happy birthday, belated birthday. Happy birthday, hello to my daughter, but and my mommy, of course. And yeah, but they a lot of people. Me and Dave were sitting down and we were talking about everybody we've worked with, and I mean. You forget because the list would be so long and you'd be like, dang, I work with this one. I've done this event, and you forget it down. And that's one of the things that he and I have said for 2025. We want to make sure that we're constantly doing is sitting down and writing down our accolades and stuff and give ourselves the kudos. Because a lot of times we don't get, people ask us all the time. So me being at the show, me being the stage manager, me being right on stage. What is the one thing you would think about my job that I get to do that you think I would enjoy? I'm on stage with these people. The show is going on. What do you think? I'm like, because I get this question all the time. But what do you think is the one thing that I would get to do that you would think that I would just get to do while I'm on stage?
Sing the song with the artist, not necessarily on the microphone, but
enjoy the show.
Yeah.
I couldn't even tell you the last time I sat down and watched the show. People be like, "What was the show like?" Huh? What show? The show. The show went on. People. How was Sexy Red? How was Gorilla? I couldn't tell you. I was backstage running around like crazy. I couldn't tell you. I have no idea. I didn't even get to watch.
So you never just take a moment to.
You get moments.
Okay.
You get moments, but what people don't understand is so let's say the doors open at 5:00. You guys, people are showing up at 5:00. By the time y'all get there at 5:00, I've been there sometimes 14 hours.
Gotcha.
So by the time the show starts at like, let's say 7, 8 o'clock, I'm going on 18 hours at that point. And then they still have to do the entire show. So by the time they end the show at 10:45,
You done.
I'm finito. I don't care. Sing your song and get off the stage. Sing your song and go, because I'm ready to go. And then don't let it be like I have to stay for loadout, because then I'm really not going home. Like a normal concert day is like 5/6 a.m. to like 2:30 in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Nigga. No, I'm pass on that.
We don't care. Like, you know, me and my friend Dave that I was telling you about, we were just talking about that. Like, we don't care. We don't. It's cool because you do try to take those moments, especially when you're working with like legends like Gladys Knight and stuff like that. You do try to take those moments and watch the show, but you're so tired, and then stuff could be going on that you have to like. Little fires you got to put out, or somebody's constantly calling you, or you have to go do this, or you have to go do that. So it's like just stuff that you wish you did get to actually sit down and like watch the show. And I'm not saying every time, but I would say like out of 10 shows, I had 10 shows, I probably have actually got to sit down and watch at least 30 minutes of a show once.
Damn.
Man, you don't normally get to
just be a spectator.
And even when you do, you're so zoned out in what you have to do next that I probably could be sitting there watching the whole show and really not, I couldn't tell you what's going on because I'm so in my brain about what I have to do next that I probably am sitting there watching, but I'm probably also clock watching to make sure they're not going over their clock. I'm probably also like calling somebody on the radio, making sure that they got my next artist up there. You know, I'm probably like, I'm not paying attention to the fact that like the Isley brothers are 2 steps away from me singing one of the greatest, you know, in the sheets, and I'm zoned out. And those are the moments that sometimes like I tell people, especially in this industry, like people be like, your job is so cool and da-da-da. It's a lot of sacrifice. It's a lot, especially in your personal life. You gonna suffer in your personal life. You want to get into this industry, you gonna suffer in your personal life 100%.
So how do you decide like who gets how much time on the stage? You got like a 2 hour window with like let's say 6 artists. How do you decide the amount of time each artist gets?
Well, it really just depends on like a lot of artists have something called like a writer. The writer will sometimes tell you how much time you're required to give them on stage. Got you. So it depends on who the artist is. Like if they're a headliner, so you kind of like base it off your headliner. If your headliner says, hey, you're required to give me 90 minutes on stage, then you have to base your show around your headliner. You know what I'm saying? And then if everybody else from there, you also want to, you know, kind of scope it out based on like the show itself and how the show was built. And then you also base it on a lot of facts of like, your production, you know, do I have stagehands? You know, what time are they coming in? What time are they leaving out? My union, the venue, the curfews of the city. So you kind of just like base it out based on all those factors. But the first thing you need is a writer before you can do anything. You need the artist writer. So you can see like the writer will tell you everything you need to know about that show.
But you don't have anything to do with the makeup of the writer.
No, that'll normally come from like the team, like the artist team. So like, let's say, for example, like if I'm working with like a production or promoter company or something like that, the promoter will like then put us all into like an email that'll say, like Ciji's the stage manager, this person is the hospitality coordinator, this person is the artist liaison or something like that. And then so all those emails will start getting filtered out to you of like, okay, the production, things like that. And it really just starts with the writer. The promotion or the production company will get the writer, and then they'll start like filtering all of those things out to us so that we know where we need to be and how we need to run the show.
I got you. Best piece of advice somebody gave you?
I would say time is not your friend. Time is.
Oh my God, Lord. I know the feeling on that one. Anything that you want to leave with the people before we wrap it up?
Yeah, I just, you know, like I was telling, you know, your associate, you know, that she was, you know, about women's, you know, I just really wanted to, come on and kind of give the awareness to um, the ladies out there for Women's History Month. And a lot of the men, because this is a primarily male dominated.
Absolutely.
It really is. And it's hard. It's hard for us females because we be out here and it's, we don't necessarily get the respect that we deserve from some people. We get looked over a lot. A lot of people, a lot of my counterparts that I worked with, things like that. I've learned a lot from the people, a lot of the males that I've been in the industry with.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned a lot from those people and continue to learn from them and things like that. And, any ladies out there who are, thinking about it or whatever, like I said, other than the biggest thing is that you are going to suffer in your personal life, but, definitely, if it's something you're interested in or whatever, we need more ladies in production. We need more ladies that are in this entertainment, especially like, because production can be a lot of things. A lot of it can be like the back of the house. A lot of it can be like hospitality. A lot of it can be whatever. I deal directly like with the gear and with the things like that. We need more ladies who know their gear and they, can do those type of things. Because it is male dominated. And, I was talking with Dave too, and we were saying that like I'm the only stage manager female Black stage manager in Metro Detroit. And so it's hard. It is. And like I said, it's just, I love it though. I love what I do. I wouldn't trade it for the world. Like I said, other than like I said, you do stuff for your personal life. Other than that, it's cool. I like it. I love it.
Well, I absolutely want to thank you for this phenomenal conversation. If there is anything I can possibly do for you, please don't hesitate to ask. I am not sure what that would be. However, I got you if you need something.
I love it. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. And if nobody else has told you today, I'm proud of you and I appreciate everything you have done.
Thank you so much.
No doubt. On that note, man, we're going to get out of here. You have a phenomenal evening on purpose. Thanks again. All right, peace. Oh, how do we? Oh, okay. So it's just fucking up, huh? All right. Anyway, thank you to Ciji Symone. I'll be back next week, man. This is Jobs. This has been another episode of Intellectually Petty Radio, and I'm out. I'll holla.